And welcome back once again, everybody. So, today we're going through the forest maze, and you'll find these mushrooms scattered around the map, and it's very useful to pick these up. Now, every once in a while, there'll be those guys, those mushrooms, but they're still worth fighting because more often than not, they'll still drop the mushroom after you defeat them. Now, if you're familiar with the Mario game, you know what these caterpillar things are. They're wigglers, I believe, as they're called. And you see they can do Valor Up, so which actually makes sense because when you attack them in like Super Mario World, for example, they do kind of get all red and get angry, and a lot harder to kill. So it's a pretty cool thing they put in the game, at least. Now what's that thing called? An Amanita. That's a weird name, but he turned Mallow into a mushroom. Now, interesting enough, when characters turn into mushrooms, they do heal. They do heal themselves in a mushroom state. However, they can't attack, defend, magic attacks, use items, or anything. So, yeah. And also, I'm going to be skipping over these battles as much as I can because I had to edit this down for time. But I'll show you all the enemies once, and from there, I'm just going to skip all the battles. There's a lot happening in this section today, no question about that. So, those gorillas look a lot like Donkey Kong. They're actually called gorillas, which is a very generic name, but I don't know. It would have been cool if Donkey Kong was actually in the game, but, it didn't happen. It's got a little Squaresoft Nintendo for you. They never give you what you want. But, yeah, these guys are pretty dangerous. I take care of them as quickly as you can, especially when they're in with a group of enemies. They can do some nasty stuff to you, no question. Yep, takes a lot more damage. I've been kind of putting off the grinding for experience points, but I may have to do that sooner or later. If I was just casually playing the game, I wouldn't bother me as much, but when I'm trying to, get this recorded and everything, it's just, I don't know. I get kind of lazy about that, I suppose. But, not a whole lot going on at the moment. And, remember, we still have to, we're going to find those, where we can go a four-way path, just as the man said yesterday, to find some goodies. Yeah, we'll be doing that pretty soon, too. Not a whole lot to talk about just yet, but there will be. I don't know what the point of this was, this whole little section right here, because it just leads you back down into a hole. It's weird how they designed it like that, but who am I to judge? Those rat guys, at this point, they didn't get any stronger. However, you are stronger from the last time you fought them. So, and they'll fight you in groups of 5 in this part of the game. But all you got to do is use Mallow's Thunderbolt, and it'll kill them all one hit. It's very useful because they can still poison you and just leech your health. When they're in groups like that, they can be a little dangerous. No question. Right, so I actually kind of got lost from here, but anyway, remember, left, straight, right. And you go right from there, and here we are. It takes you to this little stump here, and if I'll just jump in. Alright. And what do we get? Ooh, a flower. Ooh, another flower. A mushroom. Another flower, and a frog coin. Worth coming down here for sure. You can always use more flower points, there's no question about that. And the mushroom does hurt, and frog points can come in handy for buying stuff later. Awesome. It can be really tough to avoid the enemies in these kinds of areas right here because there's just so many on the map. But what you do here is you just find Geno in one of those walkways here, and you just follow him. That's all you need to do. Of course, every once in a while this will happen, and if you notice right there that buzzer just kept homing in on me there. Sometimes that'll happen. You can try to avoid battles here as much as you want, but it's just going to come to it sometimes. But just take him down and just keep following Geno, and you won't have a problem. Oh, 1,000 arrows. This guy's been busy. So yes, it appears that we've stumbled upon the person responsible for all the arrows in Rosetown. His name's Boyer, and yeah, he has kind of a weird accent. I can't really... It's very funny. He has some pretty funny dialogue. I'll give him that much. So yeah, he's basically anthropomorphic bow, it looks like. Very unusual. Right here, with my references to Bruce Lee, that's pretty unusual in like a Square game or a Nintendo game where they're actually a direct reference to someone like that. It doesn't really date the game necessarily because he was already dead for several years when this game came out, but still, it's weird that they referenced him. Oh, it looks like they found a star, so yeah, it looks like we are going to have to fight the guy. I wouldn't have thought that. Oh, and our mystery man's here now. And let's see, a stranger. Yeah, he is strange. I'll give him that. And it's fight time. Yeah. He says a lot for some reason. Oh, he serves a higher authority. Scary, right? And of course, this doesn't bother him at all. He's like, nah, nah. Angry I am. What is he, Yoda or something? A lesson I will teach you. Well, that's awesome. Now, I don't know what his strategy here is. I don't know who he's shooting those arrows at, but I don't know. Shooting them at us, apparently. And so now it's commando time. It's time to save the day, as usual. And Mallow's starting to man up for once. That's always helpful. And Navy SEALs! And they're running. And oh, this is getting epic, folks. I can't really contain my excitement right now. And he trips. How anticlimactic is that? But Mario's still on the run. And let's see. And what he does here, he's still firing because that's got to be accurate, I guess. And Gino can actually fight. What do you know? Well, I'm sorry. Whoever this is, trying to protect him. Alright. Uh-oh. He's going to get hit. Oh! Deflect the arrow and pose. Oh, that's just so stylish. And Mallow's here a little late, as usual. Well, when you're getting shot at, you don't really have time to think, Mallow. Don't be so selfish. So you're the Mario. We know about you. Uh-oh, well, looks like the high authority knows of Mario. I hope this is good. But anyway, Gino here, the doll, or I'm sorry, the star that's possessed the doll, that's named Gino, and he will be called Gino, just get that out of the way. He may seem really weak here, and it looks like he takes a lot of damage. One important thing to keep in mind is he doesn't have a weapon, and he doesn't have any armor yet. So, yeah. And I'm not even sure if I'm using that Geno beam right, but it is doing more damage than Mallow's little stick there, so that's a plus, you know. But I'll get better at it as we go. Geno does become useful later on in the game, though, and I usually keep him in my rotation until the very end. Well, for most of the game, at least. Yeah, what you're supposed to do there is you're supposed to hold Y for the power, and it really helps. Not exactly sure on the timing, but I'm sure I'll get it pretty soon here. It's been a couple years since I played the game, after all. Now, I like to spam Mario Super Jump here because it'll do more damage than any other attack up to this point. Look at that, 107 damage on him. And this guy's defense is pretty high. You gotta hand it that much to him. And if you haven't been able to tell already, what he does is he'll shoot an arrow on one of those blocks, and it'll actually lock out one of your buttons. So, like, for example, I think he's about to do it here. Yes, he locked out the Y button, meaning you can't use your magic attacks. So you can only, like, use items and attack. Now, Geno took 27 damage there, which is pretty bad, but luckily he's not a bad attacker. It took me a little while to get used to his, like, little attack there. I didn't know when I should press the button, but I get it before the battle's up. But he won't be without a weapon for long, fortunately. You're just going to have to heal him a lot in this battle, because especially compared to Mallow and Mario, he's a little underleveled, because that, you know, I'd say especially compared to Mario, since I grinded up like 5 levels like earlier in the game, so he has a little catching up to do, but we'll get him up to speed pretty quick. So now he's locked out, Boyer has locked out the attack button, so we can only use magic attacks and items now. It can get dangerous if he locks out items, so like for healing yourself, you'll have to rely on Mallow's HP rain. It's not something I like to rely on, honestly. Again, only 30 damage. I think you're supposed to release that right before it fires, but then again, it's important to keep in mind that Geno's magic and attack are a little low, but that'll be fixed fairly quickly. I wouldn't worry about it. So just using some mushrooms, because you're really gonna have to heal him, because he just doesn't have any protection yet. Anyway, now he's also one of the first enemy in the end that can use static E. There are other variations of attack later on, and it can make bosses really dangerous. No question about that. I'm pretty sure he's the first one. I'm pretty sure Mag didn't use it. Let's see. Yes, let's see how effective Fire Orb is. I usually don't like to use it on bosses because more often than not it won't even work. It's very unfortunate. 33. It only did a little more damage than Geno's Flash. I'm sorry, Geno Beam, I believe it is. Using some honey syrup to restore some flower power, and now we can use attack, which is, I don't know, a little better, I guess, right now. Alright, so I mean, that is bad though. Like, you know, Mario's standard attack will do more damage than Geno's special. That's not really that good. But then again, you know, he is so much higher than even Mallow is right now. I think he's still like 4 or 5 ahead of him, because I grinded up earlier on, like back before I did like part 3, I believe it was. But now he's dead, and we won't have to worry about it anymore. Hooray! And we get a flower box, so that'll help us out on magic attacks a little bit. Yeah, you really were in a jam there, Geno. Oh, you are more than a doll? That's comforting. So, yes, it turns out that he has taken the form of this doll, and he's actually a visitor from the Star Road, which, as he explains here, grants wishes. However, when the sword fell from the sky at the beginning of the game, it supposedly destroyed Star Road, meaning we have to collect these stars and to rebuild it, and that's the whole point of the game. And apparently, as he explains here, nothing good can, no wish can come true, and nothing can happen, pretty much. And it pretty much dooms the whole world, more or less. So, yeah, we gotta save the world by collecting these stars, and then we'll defeat Smithy, drive him back, and we'll be supposedly the world will be, more or less okay. But it's not going to be an easy journey, but we'll... Heart, musical note, exclamation point, question mark. That's a weird name. So, yeah, we'll just stick to calling you Geno from here on out. That's a weird name. But anyway, we still got 5 more to go, so we still got a lot of game to cover. But this has been a lot of fun for me so far, so I have no complaints. And I hope it's been fun for you guys too. Boy, they really take their time with these stars. Really build it up. Hooray! Green's not really the greatest color for a star, I hate to say that. But yeah, we got 5 more of these suckers to collect. Alright, so... the duet is now a trio. This will make fighting a little bit easier from here on out. But unfortunately, one of the stray arrows heard the conversation, and I just love that they're sentient arrows. That just makes the world complete, doesn't it? Arrows can talk in this game. So now that we know the secret of the shooting stars, we have to hustle on getting these back, because, the world could pretty much end.